Looks like things are starting to be in motion. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue over here, and we're back. This is going to be more live news updates. So apparently with this whole Trump administration and getting rid of the TPS, which affects a lot of Haitians that's here in America as of today, seems to be extending out to not just Haitians, but to those from Nicaragua, those from Cuba, and those from Venezuela as well. TPS has been revoked, or it looks to be on the on the verge of being revoked. So I found this out over the weekend, and it was odd to me because, as you guys may have known, if you see my last video that I did in regards to the whole TPS thing, things were about to start taking effect in around August. That was the plan, but it seems like they managed to expedite whatever the process is in order to have this completed to where this is going to be happening as of next month. So again, from Ground.News, this is where I get all my news information. If I don't see it here, then it's not real. U.S. revokes temporary status for 532,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. So this revocation applies to the individuals who entered the U.S. October of 2022 under the parole granted by former President Joe Biden. Homeland Security Kristi Noem stated that the migrants will lose their legal status on April 24th following a 30-day notice, which is interesting because Trump's administration is also considering ending temporary legal status for 240,000 Ukrainians in the U.S. due to conflict in Russia, which is a lot. But then what does that all mean? What does that all mean? I mean, as mentioned before, this is kind of something that is pretty sudden. Like I said, coming from August till now April, literally next month, that's pretty soon for people to just drop everything that they've been doing for the past 2 years. Now, granted, 2 years for a lot of people isn't a long time, but for some people, 2 years they could have made their whole life here already, which is interesting enough to say for the least. Now, the only reason I say that is because I have, and I mentioned this before, I have relatives that are here that have been here under the TPS program that I feel like been here for like dang near 10 years. But it's crazy to think that it's only been 2 years, and to see all the growth that they had, see how well acclimated they becoming into, the US culture. It's crazy to even think that we're at this point to where, their status is, their stay could be coming to a close. And I know that there's plenty of other Haitian families that are affected by this as well, churches that are affected by this as well, building that community. And I feel for them. It's really unfortunate. But like I mentioned before, I'm going to look at everything the way that it's supposed to be. I'm going to look at everything at first through a Christian lens, and then secondly through whatever world lens that we have going on here. Through a Christian lens, we're supposed to obey the law. Difficult situation and a problematic situation. But the fact of the matter is, as much as people don't like it, this temporary protective status, like for some reason we keep forgetting the first word, temporary. This wasn't supposed to be permanent. This was supposed to be a status for aid, for assistance, for people to come over here to this country while there's stuff going on in their homelands. There's for that protection. So like again, with the Ukrainians, them coming over here because of everything that's going on with the Russian war. With the Haitians that came over here in 2002, it was after the assassination of the president, and the country was just going rampart. It was just getting ridiculous. And then Haiti again, even back in 2010 during the earthquake, there was a lot of unfortunate events that was happening. So they allowed the TPS to happen for the Haitians to come here and seek refuge during this time period. But it's supposed to be temporary until the country gets stable. So the only thing that I have to say in regards to that is that when it comes to those that came into this country, they should have never gotten comfortable being here as if they were staying here. It doesn't make sense. The thing literally says temporary. So to me, I wouldn't bank on the idea that, oh yeah, I'm going to be allowed to stay here forever type thing. It just doesn't make sense. I know America has their flaws. There are many flaws. But when it comes to specific definitions well, I can't say that because there's a lot of crap that's clear, cut and dry. But for some reason, there's still a conversation as to, the exact definition. So it's highly unfortunate that we're getting to this state. And it makes me wonder, like, why did we push it? Why did we expedite it to now being next month as opposed to in August? Is it because of deportation quotas has decreased? I mean, as we've seen not too long ago, Trump has switched out the CBP home app for those that want to deport themselves to go home so that they can have a chance of coming back. Is it like, is all this happening because we're not deporting as much people as, Trump had liked? Or was it just all part of the agenda? Tom Homan did mention that, nobody was safe. And I did think that this was going to be a case where those that weren't here, that aren't actual citizens here, I knew that they were going to take action towards those individuals. But again, things are happening very quick. They have an agenda to push and the Republicans are pushing it. But let's go ahead and watch a video and see exactly how locals in New York are feeling.
Right now, everyone is scared. These are taxpayers. These are members of the community. They help us do everything, clean, support our schools, our students.
Local businesswoman and community advocate Debbie Lewis talks about an announcement from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Noem said that legal status for people who immigrated from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela under a 2022 federal program will end possibly as early as March 24th. That could make deportations possible a month later, according to DHS.
I feel like you shouldn't if you already allowed them here. If you allowed them here, there's no reason to take them back.
If in the first place you're giving people opportunity, it's unfair to take that back.
Residents here in the country's largest Haitian community respond to specifics. The people affected were given 2-year permits in 2022 and 2023 by the Biden administration to legally be here with financial sponsors. In this federal notice, the Homeland Security Secretary said that letting the 532,000 people remain here legally under the program is a violation of an executive order signed by President Trump to secure U.S. borders. People in Little Haiti disagree.
I think it's very unfair, and I hope it does not go through.
And agreeing with that, various lawsuits filed already.
So ultimately, I mean, the people of New York are seeing, the goods of having the Haitians, well, not even the Haitians, just all of these immigrants here that are here on the TPS. So the interesting thing about the TPS is that it's different from the illegal system. With the TPS, they came here under, for the Haitians at least, the Haitians came here under, it's kind of like a probationary thing where they're here and they had somebody vouch for them from America saying that they can come here and that whoever the American is going to watch over him type stuff. It's different from the illegal system and the CBP loan where they're just coming in and then they're just getting a government assistance. Now, granted, the people with TPS were also getting some government assistance, food stamps, this and a third. But as they were here and as time continued to progress, and once they started working and actually working jobs, then that food assistance was then taken away from them. They're working, they're able to pay for their own stuff, they're paying their taxes, they're paying taxes to the country. They were literally here working, as opposed to a whole completely different from the border issue that was going on. So when we look into this and you see that people are here, that people are working, I guess it gives that false pretense that they're going to be here and that they're here to stay, which again, it's not the case because it's temporary. It's supposed to be temporary, not permanent type thing. Now, as far as the extension goes, I'm not sure what it is about that. Now, the bad thing about this is, of course, this is displacing the people that's been here for the past 2.5 years type thing. That's gotten acclimated into the American culture. Again, that's been here. A lot of those that's been working, paying actual taxes, and as though they were American citizens. So should they be penalized for that? I personally do not think not too much. But again, there's an agenda that's in place. So it really sucks that this is the route that we're taking. But at the end of the day, we need to hold true to our laws. And I know somebody's probably going to have a rebuttal to that, but we need to remain true to our laws and whatever it is that we're doing. This isn't something that wasn't out of nowhere. This is a temporary protective services that was in 2003. It was only supposed to be for 2 years, and it's 2025. This was something that was brought up by Biden 2022, 2023. It's supposed supposed to be here for only 2 years, which is now 2025. So theoretically, that period should have ended. Now, whether they were supposed to have an extension or not, that's a whole different story. But it doesn't seem like, it's considering that now Trump is president, I don't see how he doesn't have the right to not extend the program. You know what I mean? I know that for sure he has to go in and make sure that they validate the conditions of the country. That's first and foremost. Validate the conditions of the country, and saying that, okay, the country is well enough and in a better state for them to go back, which should have happened anyways. The thing is, a lot of the people that's coming from Haiti doesn't feel like Haiti is good enough to go back. I don't know the conditions of Haiti. I know there's still a lot of gangs, there's still a lot of outrage that's going on in the streets. And once again, I hope that they take into consideration of that, and I hope that they look into that. And especially when it comes to Ukraine, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still the war that's going on, but I think the idea, or at least what's a foresight that may be happening, is that they're implying that Ukraine will now be in a better situation because the war that's happening is probably coming to a close. Maybe we don't know 100%. I don't know how you can just send somebody back even though the war is over. That doesn't mean that there's still ravaged lands that where people used to live and whatnot, or they're supposed to go from that point. Maybe they're just saying that's not our problem. We kept our people here during the war, now we're sending them back. Kind of in the same sense with Haiti, the president was killed, there was ravage, there was a whole bunch of issues that's going on, but hopefully they're going to look into it, and hopefully Haiti's just always been in a weird spot. That's the thing. Haiti's always been in a spot of where there's like constant turmoil. There's always something that's going on. But Trump probably doesn't feel like this is America's problem. That's my thought behind the whole thing. So with that being said, this could be a bad thing for those that are here, those that have gotten used to being here, but in the same sense, probably shouldn't have gotten too used to being here. And even then with TPS, this is not a means to gain residency. So it's like, I just don't know. I know people that's been here on the TPS since the earthquake. They managed to get their residency here, which is good. But I don't know. It's a crazy situation. I'll say that, to say the least. But on that same token, I do have a feeling. I mean, of course, there's going to be people that are here doing good, and there's going to be people here that's doing bad. People that's just smooching off of the free benefits that they're getting from being an immigrant that Biden had placed in for them. They're benefiting off of it. Let's just be real. There's a lot of them that are benefiting off of it and just like being freeloaders. And especially when it comes to living with families, Haitians will do that real quick where they're just going to be freeloaders. I know this. You can't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about because I've seen it personally myself. Now, again, that doesn't account for all the Haitians, but that is a thing. So is it a justification to just send everybody back? I mean, to me personally, no. I don't know. Trump said that he was going to get America to be America, and then later on we'll figure things out about allowing people to get back in, which I think is an important mindset to have. If we're going to fix stuff, we need to kind of have a reset. And that's just with anything. Relationships. Have a reset on the relationship. Start fresh with businesses. When things are going wrong with businesses, whatever this plan that we have going on, refresh because something's not working out. Everything that's going on with the government and Doge, refresh. As we already know, the order that Trump had for firing all those people in the federal workers, the judges, they blocked that. And now Trump is asking for the judges to hold off on that block. Why would he need to do that? Well, maybe because we're trying to refresh and evaluate exactly what's going on. There's another situation I'm going to do a video on in regards to Florida doing their own little Doge thing going on. And they've managed to come up with a whole lot of money that just would have been spent on absolutely God knows what. So regardless, getting back into this topic at hand, one thing that I would like to consider for the Trump administration, if this is going to be in plan, I mean, with the CBP situation of the deportation, they mentioned that those that leave on their own accord will then have a chance to come back. Nothing's in writing, but if they're going to talk about it, well, then let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and bring it up. I say for those that came here on TPS, in my last video with the Haitians, a lot of people had a lot to say. They were saying, send them back, sitting there with their popcorn emojis and all that stuff, which y'all terrible people. I mean, y'all have your opinions, but y'all terrible people. Come on, man. But in actuality, I think that we should have the idea, allow those that have been working to come back. have some type of parameters. If for the past 2 years, if you came to America under these working situations, if you were working, paying your taxes, like a lot of people, a lot of Republicans have been having issues with, you've been paying your taxes, maybe those that also have families, which is a big thing, which is a situation that I'm in right now. The people that I know are big families, and they're just going to be displaced, and they have absolutely no criminal records or whatnot. Give them the opportunity to come back and be citizens. That's a lot of people that's going to be displaced. That's a lot of taxes that's no longer going to be paid. Now, granted, Trump has his own plan for the taxes, and we're still looking to see what's going to happen there. But if we're going to be America that lives off the backs of immigrants and really making America, allow that step, that doorway to be opened up to where those that were here, that tasted what it's like to be American, they really want to come back. Give them that opportunity to come back, and maybe not be a sense where they got to wait 10, 15, 20 years like a lot of my family and other families had to do in the past. We're at a point where we can move things along a lot quicker. And the fact that they've already been here, give them a chance. Give them a chance to come back, because again, it's a lot. The other thing that I will say, which is not trying to throw shades to the Democrats, but I've been hearing a lot of talk that, there's a problem with the Republicans. They don't care for anybody. They just care about the money, this, that, and the third. It's the Democrats that are really here for the people, and they the ones that care about the people and whatnot. I find it really weird, because I was looking up some information, and I found that with TPS, they actually do allow extensions, but they allow extensions anywhere from, the extension will be from 6 months to 18 months. So anywhere from a year to a year and a half. So there's a whole 6 months that isn't really accounted for. The Biden administration, when they allowed for this to happen, which I'm glad that they did. Again, I'm glad that they did. Why is it that they set it for 2 years? If they set it for 2 years this time, then they could have set it for 2 years any other time. Yes, there's a readmission process and stuff like that, reapplication. But it seems like during the time frame, this is the time in which the current president can extend it, because it was reaching its end. This is that time. But if that's the case, why did the Biden administration set it for 2 years, where it just so happened to be landing right during the new presidency? Now, I say this because when you think about it, just really think about it for a second. I don't know if this is actually true, but if you really think about it, the 2 years ended on the new presidency. If Biden was to have gotten reelected, or Kamala, whatever, then they could have easily extended it. Yes. But if they lose, which they did, then that would be left for the next president to allow to happen again, to renew it, or to get rid of it, as we're seeing. Thus would have put way more hate on the Republican Party, and thus cost votes in the near future, especially again, with the many people that's being affected right now, that's going to turn a lot of people from the Republican Party. But I don't, why would we play this type of game if we're here for the people? I don't understand. Why wouldn't we just maximize the term for this protective service? Why wouldn't we lessen the registration process? Or if that was the case, allow the registration to happen prior to you leaving the office, so that you can then renew it, so that the next president wouldn't be able to get rid of it. These are questions. Y'all got answers, let me know. But it seems kind of sketch. I don't know, because a lot of people try to give a lot of credit to the Democrats for being about the people. The more that I'm seeing things, especially unfold as of the recent years, I'm not seeing the Democrats being for the people, man. I see them being for themselves. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, and we'll see how this goes. And we'll continue to pray for everybody. Pray for guidance wherever things will take. As always, y'all take it easy. Peace.